All right, so today we are starting our review. Okay, so what we're doing with this is for several reasons. One, it's going to be a review to help you on your final exam, but it's also a review to make sure you're ready to go next year for coordinate algebra. Okay, so we're going back and we're touching on some topics. How we'll do it is I'll probably introduce this topic, let you practice it, and then tomorrow I'll take questions on this, and then I'll give you another practice sheet, something like that. To really get us going and make sure that we're ready to roll here. Okay, so this first thing is a review of solving multi-step equations. All right, so it's a review of solving multi-step equations. All right, and the biggest thing you've got to remember is when you're solving multi-step equations is to first look and see, hey, is everything simplified out? Then is everything combined with what can be combined? So on and so forth. So we're going to start, and I got a couple problems. We're going to jump around and work together just to make sure that you're good to go. So we're starting with number one. Okay, number one says 20 is equal to 6p minus 2p. All right, now, as you look at this, the first question you should ask yourself, hey, is everything simplified? That means is everything distributed? Is everything multiplied out? Everything of that nature. And in this case, it is. Everything is simplified. The next thing you've got to ask yourself is, hey, are all of my like terms combined? And in this case, the answer should be no, it's not, because if you look at the right-hand side, you'll see you have 6p and negative 2p. Well, we can write those two together. Now, we didn't do anything to the 20 on that side, so we leave it at 20. But 6 minus 2 gives you what? 4. You are correct. So that means you got 4p. Now, when you are solving, you want to get the letter of the variable by itself. So the question that should go through your mind is, well, how do I undo multiplying by 4? Dividing. And if I do it to one side, I've got to do it to the other. 20 divided by 4 is 5, and that is left to p. So p is equal to 5. All right. Any questions on that? Okay. Again, this is something that we've done, and we've really built on this. We've done this all throughout, so we're just going back and touching, making sure we're good. Okay. All right. Now, the next one I want to look at is number 9. Okay. So here's number 9, and here's the big thing that I notice on number 9. Is number 9 simplified? Remember, that's what we're supposed to ask. No, it is not. So what we have to do first is look and figure out that there's something that needs to be distributed. You've got 4 times 5m plus 1. Well, that means we need to take that 4 and multiply it by both 5m and 1. So when you do that, 4 times 5m becomes 20m. 4 times 1 is 4. You bring down everything else, so you still have a plus 5m, and all of that is equal to 129. Now, looking again at this, here's the next thing to look at. Okay? Do all your like terms, have they been combined? No. You've got a 20m and a positive 5m. They are on the same side of the equation, so you just combine them. You just add them together. Well, 20 plus 5 becomes 25m. You didn't do anything with the plus 4, so you bring it down. That is equal to 129. Now, with this problem, you've got to realize you are not at the stage yet where you can just divide by what's happening to m and move on, right? You've got to get that 25m by itself first. What is happening to 25m? Added by 4. How do you undo adding by 4? And if you do it to one side, you've got to do it to the other side. So 25m equals, well, 129 minus 4 is 125. Now you are at the point where, hey, m is almost by itself. You've got to undo multiplying by 25. So you would divide by 25. And once you do that, you solve it out, and you would get m is equal to 5. That is correct. Okay? questions on that? Okay, all right, go ahead and flip to the back. We're going to do two problems kind of together, just to let you see them. We're going to do 17 and 18. So let's start with 17 first, all right? The reason I chose these have a little bit more to them, because you're not distributing once, you're distributing twice. So what you've got to make sure you do with those is that you don't distribute it, like I said, just once but twice. So for the first one, you've got to take -3 and distribute it to the x and to the 7. If you do that, -3 times x becomes -3x. -3 times 7 becomes -21. Okay? Then you've got to take the 6 and distribute it to both the 5 and the 2x. So you distribute those out. Well, 6 times 5 would be 30. And 6 times 2x would be 12x. That is all equal to -54, because you could not do anything. Now, this problem is one where, hey, now we've got everything simplified, but we got to look at what we can combine. Well, there's two different types of like terms here. You've got the like terms with the x's, which is -3x and +12x. And then you've got the like terms with just regular numbers, -21 and +30. So you've got to combine each of those separately to make sure they're good to go. Well, -3x and +12x would make +9x. -21 and +30 would make +9. And that is equal to -54. Well, now it's just, hey, before we can get x by itself, we got to get 9x by itself. So you have to undo adding 9, which means you subtract it. You get 9x is equal to -63. Then, to get rid of multiplying by 9, you have to divide it. So you end up getting x is equal to -7. The reason it is a -7 is because it was a -63 divided by a +9. Any questions on 17? All right, let's look at 18 then real quick. 18 is very similar, except now everything you have to distribute is on the other side. But how many times are we distributing here? 2. Okay, so we know that we're going to have to distribute that -7 to the first parentheses and 8 to the second. Well, you didn't do anything with the 11 on the other side. -7 times +6n is -42n. -7 times +3 is -21. Then +8 times -2n is -16n. And +8 times +4 is +32. Now everything is simplified. We got to go through and combine our like terms. Well, a -42n and -16n will go together. -21, +32 will go together. Let's simplify those. -42 and -16 make -58n. And then -21 and +32 is +11. Anybody have any questions on how I got that? Are you good? All right. So next, we want to get -58n by itself. So to undo adding 11, you have to subtract it. Hey, 11 minus 11 is 0. Then to get n by itself, you got to divide both sides by -58. And you end up getting 0 is equal to n. All right. Questions there? Okay, here's what I need you to do. I need you to go through this and work it out. Make sure you're good to go. See what questions you might have, all right? Ready, set,